What? Marry me? But they immediately refused. No, I'm engaged and my fiance is in another country for some time. He will return in a year and I will marry him. I will pay for my brother treatment with my money I have earned through my hard work. The young refusal seems to set the fire in Jungkook's body. He said, "What do you mean? Who's your fiance? What kind of fiance? It had been few months since your husband passed away. According to you, your child lived a few days and died, right?" The young was as if he had lost his senses. In his haste, he had spoken the truth. Their fiance was actually in another city and they wasn't married yet. They had lied to get a job, but now it seems he was in a deep trouble. How can a married boy have a fiance? Tell me, Mr. Camp. Jungkook's eyes would start turning pink. There was a wall behind they. He was completely terrified. They said, after my husband's death, a boy had proposed me and I said yes. They didn't know what to tell him. So you have been married mother of a child. That's what you said, right? Their complexion has turned white. Yes, that's the truth. After listening to Taehyung's word, Jungkook stared at him. Give me proof, boy, that you had been the mother of a child, and that you also feed your child. Come on, take off this. I want to see the proof. Hearing this from Jungkook, he was furious. He said, "What kind of rudeness is this? Don't you feel ashamed?" Hearing this, Jungkook came closer to Tae and showed a video on his mobile, which made Taehyung's senses go crazy. They could not even think that the person could do such an act. I know very well that when someone feeds the baby, then what does the parents look like? Now, will you take care of your shirt? Or I will. Jungkook pulled his hand toward the neck and grabbed his shirt. The young life was over. I wanted to see that you're or not. The young quickly jerked Jungkook's hand back. He already knew the truth. They didn't know that he had installed a camera in the room. Jungkook had showed Taehyung the video of him making milk from a curtain and feeding it to Rohan. When you are married and a mother, then why you are feeding my child a milk from a can? I gave you 200 million won. For this, I had clearly written in the agreement that in case of fraud, instead of 200, you will return 300 million won to me. You're feeding my child a box milk, not yours. According to the agreement, you will give me 300 million won. That too, within a day. You have 24 hours. In this 24 hours, either you will return the amount of 300 million won, or the other way is to marry me. And in case of marriage, I will bear the expenses of your brother treatment, Mr. Kemp. And I am not very interested to know that. After all, being a mother, leaving his speech incomplete, Jungkook had left the room, knocking Taehyung shocked. The face has turned completely red. Taehyung had no idea that his throat came out so quickly. He cleared his thought and let out a breath. He glanced around the room and he saw a small camera on the wall in front of him. How could he have such a big mistake? They sat down holding his head, but Rohan started crying. Seeing Rohan crying, they had picked him up in his lap, but his mind was stuck there, even though he was afraid. He fed Rohan boxed milk once again, and after he slept, they put him on the bed and came out. Jungkook was sitting on the sofa, with his leg crossed, reading the newspaper at that time. Jungkook knew that the boy would come to him now and apologize and say something. Thinking about this, a serious smile came on Jungkook's face, and after some time the same thing happened. They quickly turned to him and said, "The biggest mistake I made was that I didn't read the agreement carefully. And the second thing is, actually, if I had known that there was a camera here, I would have acted very carefully. I didn't know that you could keep an eye on me like that." They was just trying to twist things in some way. When Jungkook starts saying, "Why are you twisting things around? Tell me something new that I can understand. You have fooled me." Do you think that fooling John Jungkook is such an easy task, and those who fooled me also get punished for it? Jungkook stood with his both hands folded on his chest. But Taehyung immediately started crying and said, "You're misunderstanding me." "I feed your son myself, but I was just feeding him because you say I'm weak. I got married before my time, and I became a mother at a very young age. My husband used to feed me only a little. Sometimes I had to go to bed hungry, so I don't have the capacity to feed the baby. I tried to feed your son too, but his stomach was not full, so I started feeding him the canned milk they was making to excuse to him in any way." But Jungkook knew the truth very well. After looking at Tae from head to toe, "Okay, I agreed. Whenever it was, you took a step without my consent. So now return my money within 24 hours or marry me." Jungkook came very close to Tae and blows his hot breath on his face, then turned around and looked at Taehyung and said, "You're a good boy, and as beautiful as you are, your first husband will definitely go crazy about you. I hope you will decide in my favor." Saying this, he left from there, smiling, and they collapsed there. They started crying right there. They didn't have a single money for his brother treatment. Where would he get 300 million won if he had married Jungkook? Not only his brother treatment be free, but those debts would also be forgiven. Taking a deep breath, they looked at Rohan, and for the last time, they wanted to call his fiancée, who had been making big claims of love for him. For the very beginning, he would say that he would do this for thee, do that for thee. He called him at first, the phone kept going off, and he picked up the call. He smiled and started talking to Taehyung. "How did you remember me after so many weeks? I thought you had forgiven me." He started crying and said, "Do you love me?" He said, "Yes, I do. I'm here for you." "Oh, what happened? Why are you crying? Has your brother become very ill?" They said to him, "I need money. Can you help me?" Hearing this, the young fiancé said, "Yes, tell me, how much do you need? Do you want 1 lakh or 3? I will send it right away." But they started crying and said, "No, I'm in a big trouble. My brother needs this money." They were just taking when the phone was disconnected. They tried to connect the phone again, but it was switched off.